Hi babes, and welcome back to, I believe this is the 5th episode of the podcast. I actually recorded a video last week, and because of my inability to upload it quick enough before I left for Michigan this weekend, it has not made its way to your eyes this last week. But that means that you'll get 2 videos this week, which is kind of exciting. This one I think is going to be pretty short because I don't really have a lot of things to talk about, but I wanted to make one because I have this package that I really want to open while you all are watching, because it's one of the things I've been really excited about getting, and so I just want to have you watch it and then hopefully go ahead and get some of these for yourself, because they are, I haven't obviously opened this yet, but I know it's going to be amazing when I do. And I'm coming off of a cold, so my voice will sound very different. Sometimes I actually like the sound of my sick voice better than my healthy voice. I like the raspiness. Gives a weird, new sense of being, I guess. So if I keep drinking water, it's because I'm probably really needing it. So this last weekend, I literally just got back today. Today is Monday, is when I'm actually recording this video. Claire and I just got back today from Have Company, from Grand Rapids, Michigan. We had a residency at Have Company, which I'll link below. It was a store, it is no longer a store. Today was its official last day. The new tenants are moving in and taking over and refurbishing it for their own uses. But it was a store and a residency program where the person who ran it was really about bringing people together and really trying to figure out a lot of this work-life balance that a lot of us creatives have. When you're at your desk job, if that's what you have, and all you're thinking about is knitting up your next row on your shawl or whatever. It's thinking about how your different life processes can, meld and make each other more beneficial. Literally, your day job helps pay for the yarns that you will use to actually do your hobby. So it was a great experience. It was also just really weird too, because the space was in upheaval and everything was being moved out and packed up, and so what once was a really beautiful store didn't have any goods left, or if they were spread out everywhere. And a lot of what I'm going to show you today is actually some goodies that I got pretty much for free, because Marley, the woman that owns Have Company, I guess it's still a project, so the person who does Have Company didn't want to ship them all the way to California, where she's off to today. So I have some new yarns to show, some that were donated or given to me, and some that I bought that I'm really excited about. And then we'll open this beautiful little package from Gabrielle Corley of Shady Grove Studios. She's on Etsy, and I found her, and I'll explain why I wanted to buy these and what they are when I open them. So we'll do the yarn first, and then we will do the package. So I'll start with the things that I bought, and I wonder if these are gonna show up in the right light. Okay, Bo, since I haven't been at home for the last 3 days, is super needy, so he's right here just wanting to be in my lap, but I don't have enough room for him. We'll cuddle later. I came home from the airport and just passed out for 4 hours, and he was sleeping with me, so it's not that we haven't had any love or affection today. But we went to the most amazing little yarn studio, Grand Rapids or Michigan Fibre Studios. I'll look them up and I'll link them below. Have been in business for about a year, and Claire and I were just wandering around Grand Rapids, and I was like, I want to go to a yarn store, and they were some of the most lovely people that I have ever had the privilege of spending, I think, 2 hours with. We went in to look at yarns, and we just got caught up conversing with them, just having a really great time. And then of course I bought some yarns because I'm trying to do my traveling shawl thing, and now I've accumulated, I feel like, enough that I can change back and forth as much as I want to. And so I'm now going to be starting, hopefully eventually, when I'm not working on all of those Christmas presents. There's a really obnoxious beeping in the background. Okay, it went away. So these 2 yarns that I'm going to show you, and I'll get close, these are reclaimed silk. And if I actually move away and have it up against this white, I wonder if that's better. So this reclaimed silk is really, really luscious and beautiful, and in the right lighting, it just like sparkles. It just shines. And that was the main reason why I bought it, because it's not a lot of it. I think it's 60 yards maybe. But I bought it because I thought it would be a really great striping effect, especially if there's a bunch of neutrals around it, like neutral blocks, and then I could do these like bright bits of this. This is the blue variation. And then I also got this like eccentric purple one. And this one's really great too. And it has that same sheen, mostly because of the silk component. But yeah, it's very vibrant, it's very bright, and I think it'll be really interesting to see it in the light of day especially, just to see what exactly it manifests. And then I had to get this funny little thing of mohair. Look at this. It's all these like greens and stuff, and either it's going to be with the silk that I bought or it's going to be something else, but I really want to use this as like a really weird accent cloudy mohair thing. I think there's only 50 yards of this, so it'll only be like a small little accent part, but I definitely wanted to. I've been in the market for some mohair for a while that I can use. And then the other yarns that I have, those are the ones that I bought. And so then the ones that I was gifted or whatever, Marley is a self-proclaimed lover of beige, and so all of these yarns are like creams and beiges and browns, and I'm interested to play with these and see like what I can produce with them, using also like the bright stuff that I have. Like I think this is going to be really fun. It's like that knitted yarn where it's like has knitted already in it, so you knit the knitting, I guess, I don't know. And then there's like a gray and a cream kind of thing. I'm also interested to see if I need to dye some of it up. I think these are going to be really great to put into a piece, maybe with those bright purple and bright blue, and in conjunction with the yarns that I got from Salem, the 2 Madeline Tosches. They're Black Void, and then this is Whiskey Barrel. So it's a nice like brown and green and blue, and seeing how these all play together. And the best part is that I got like all of these knitting needles. I made a point to like grab every knitting needle that I could, because they were just gonna go to Goodwill. So they went to my Goodwill. So I'm really excited because there are 2 sets of five pairs, or I guess not pairs, 5 double-pointed needles, 2 sets, and size 8 and 7. I don't know what I'm gonna do with these, but I'm excited to use them when I do. Oh, and I almost forgot. Here's another like free. It's like a navy black, like a deep midnight. So those will all go together really well. And then another weird thing that I want to show, because it pops up in my my YouTube preview thing. I meant to actually show this in my last video, which will be up by the time that this one is up, I know for sure. But I wanted to show this just so people like understood where this thing came from. So when I was moving my partner up to Pittsburgh, we went to Target, and I saw this in the kids section, and I was like, yep, I need this in my life, and I need to, there's like a little handle or like a place where you can put a hook. So that's definitely gonna go on my wall somewhere. Eventually when this wall gets all refurbished with all of my paintings that are currently in the closet, which is so sad. But yeah, I wanted to show off this unicorn. I haven't named it yet, but it will eventually be named and it will be on my wall, and hopefully it'll pop up in a lot of my other videos. But this is my unicorn that pops up in my other video. And now, for the best part. So, in my last video I talked about a book called oh my gosh, now I'm gonna forget. The Knitting Circle, The Broken Circle. The Broken Circle, The Yarns of the Knitting Witches by Cheryl Potter. So if you want to know about that, go back to the last video that I posted, episode 4. And it's just like this funny little young adult fantasy novel about these witches that knit up these garments that have magical properties, and they dye with like these magic crystals that come from these rivers and all this good stuff. And so the best part about it is that in conjunction with the book, the woman who wrote the book also made a compilation of all the patterns and made that into a companion book to The Broken Circle. So you can actually go and you can knit up the pieces that are actually in the book, if you're so inclined. And one of them is about this bag, and so this is not about the bag, it's what was inside of the bag. So the actual model that she had for this specific bag was holding the bag, but then there were these 2 sets of knitting needles that were popping out, and they had the most decadent amethyst, like, and I'm forgetting, like a spike, I don't know what the actual term is, but like the very tip of it, of like the amethyst, and each one of the knitting needles on the ends of it had an amethyst. And so it was this weird in-between zone of where it looked like it was obviously a knitting needle, but it also looked like she had 2 wands in her bag, and I just like freaked out, and I just loved it so much. So I started looking online for crystal-topped knitting needles. Sadly, there were none that really existed. If anyone out there knows, please let me know, because I am tempted to go and just make them myself somehow. But I found the next best thing, which is Gabrielle Corley, Shady Grove's studio, and she makes knitting needles out of fallen branches, fallen twigs. And I put in a custom order with her, and she was so lovely. Basically, she lets you know of all the things that she has. And then you can customize your knitting needles to make sense for you. So, for instance, one of the trees that she has a lot of around her are white ash. And my name, Ashton, translates roughly into, or is based on, an ash tree by a town. So, ash trees are kind of significant to me in my name. So I asked for white ash. And then I've always had an affinity for rose quartz, and so I got little rose quartz attached to knitting needles, and I also purchased 2 stitch markers. So look at the beautiful packaging. She had it in a nice roll. She has this like beautiful little like washi tape, little flower washi tape. Now I'm just like fully ripping it open because I'm so excited. Oh, these are so pretty. Invoice. Woo! So many little things. Here are the knitting needles. I guess the stitch markers. And then the stitch markers are in here. Oops. Okay. I'm sorry, Gabrielle. They're like little earrings. Oh my gosh, I love them. So here are the knitting needles themselves. Let's see if it focuses. So that's the top. I asked for copper specifically. And these just like beautiful fallen branches that then are just woven up, or not woven up, it's like the exact opposite. Whittled down pretty much. You get the nice little like raw edge at the top. And then there's my beautiful little rose quartz. And then look at these two beautiful little stitch markers. Oh my gosh, gotta find the actual. Look at them. They're like little earrings. If I was a more daring sort, I would pierce my ears and wear them. But yeah, I love these. Once again, I have no idea what I'm gonna do with them. I feel like this will really facilitate some great documentation. I think that was a lot of the reasons why I bought these. But also too, like I've been needing some stitch markers for a while and I want them to be beautiful and magical. And yeah, we'll see if I can get something knit up with these. But this is like really beautiful and I love what's happening. Let me put her little business card. Come on, focus, little baby. There you go. So that's her business, and then that's all of her contact information. Are you focused? I can also put her Etsy shop in the description below. So, yeah, I'm so excited to use these. New some of the yarns that I have shown you today. So I'll just store these back in this little bag that I came with. Probably seems like the safest bet for me. But yeah, that's pretty much what I have for this week. Have company kind of drained me out, and I actually lost the fourth double-pointed needle that I was using to make my arm warmers that I showed in the previous video. So I got through section 2 of the first arm warmer, but I was going to knit them this morning when we were about to get on the plane, and then I realized that the last needle was gone for forever. So I have to go to Joann's and get another set of those needles so I can actually finish the process. Which actually means then I could start on, can I start on the second pair at the same time? No, because I need the other side of the ball of yarn. So never mind, I was trying to get myself to not have that second sock or second thing syndrome, but we'll see if I'm gonna really fight against that and make myself finish it because it's for someone else and not for me. So yeah, that's what I have. What was I saying? If you know, I love these, but if you know of any person out there that is making knitting needles that have any kind of crystal on the top of it, like an actual crystal, not just like I've seen a lot of like marbly kind of things or like crystals that are in the shape of circles put on top of knitting needles. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for like a chunk of crystal on top of a needle. If you know how to do that or you know where to get them, please let me know because I would love to invest in you or invest in someone that you know. That's something that I'm really interested in doing. Just having a lot of like artisanal, beautiful knitting needles would be like a really great thing to do in my life. Or as always, if you have any great patterns for me to look at or to knit up or crochet up, please let me know. If you have any ideas for all those yarns that I showed you today, also let me know. And I will see you next week. There won't be 2 videos next week, there'll just be the normal one. But hopefully I'll have started on something else, or at least like finished more so of the arm warmer. So I will see you next week, and I will be looking forward to showing you progress on those pieces. All right, bye.